welcome to Thursday Reviews. Today we have a a portable CD player to review. This is the first CD player I've bought in a very long time. I already have one in my TV. Yes, in my TV. My laptop's got one too. But you know what's common about them both? They have bright screens. How am I supposed to quickly play a CD when I go to bed or something? That's why I wanted one of these. I've never heard of this brand before, so I was a bit scared. I specifically chose this one because the cheapest CD players on Amazon get really bad reviews. This one had a lot less. It costs about $40. This CD player is powered by two AA batteries or by a DC cable which comes with it. It's unique that it doesn't have a power brick. It's just USB or AA batteries. Luckily, most people have at least one power brick if they need it. With batteries, it's supposed to have a 7-hour runtime. Here are the controls, which I'll cover in depth in a moment. It has a headphone jack because there is no built-in speaker. It does come with earbuds, but they're really bad. It also comes with an aux cable, even though there's no aux input on this thing. Still trying to figure that one out. The DC input jack is next to that. Here's how to use it. Wait, seriously, you don't know how one of these works? Of course you do, right? Oh no, I've just realized there are people alive who don't know what CDs are or how to play them. Anyway, the open switch is here. Let's pop a CD in. I'll choose some classic rock CD I bought around 2008 or so. It's a really tight fit. I don't remember ever having to press on a CD that much, ever. Let's close the lid and see what happens. Absolutely nothing. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, the play button also doubles as the on button and the stop button doubles as the off button, which they very much did not label. Okay, so press play and it starts up. After reading the contents of the disc, it briefly shows the total number of tracks and the total runtime. It then immediately plays. But let's press stop to get a better look at that. The tracks can be 3 digits for some reason, and the elapsed time, or total time in this case, is displayed in smaller numbers. It works as you'd expect with track controls and fast forwarding or whatever. It has a hold switch as well, which locks the buttons. This does not turn it off. That's important to note. If you open the CD door, it says open, which makes sense. Wonder what happens if there's no disc. What's this? Nod? Okay, that's kind of funny. Also, if there's a blank CDR, it just says no file, or sometimes error. There's some additional controls, like bass boost. There's a mode button, which I'll show you the modes separately here momentarily, and a program feature. This thing also has ESP, which is electronic skip protection, and as you can see here, the diameter is about 5.5 inches. Alright, well, I'm going to now show you exactly how to do things on this CD player, how to do stuff. Firstly, I'm going to demonstrate some of the different modes for when you use the mode button. It goes between, well, let me just show you. I will plug in my speaker and hope that I don't blast my eardrums out. Not that this thing gets that loud, but, you know. We're going to take another CD that I bought a really long time ago. I really don't know why I bought this music. I mean, I do kind of like old school hip-hop, and the stuff on here is kind of cool, so I'll just, you know, I guess we'll pop it in here. You hear that loud click. You really got to press down on it. Now, what I'm going to do is I don't want it to start playing the CD yet. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to show you all the different kinds of modes. So firstly, I want to show you the different modes. So I'll press play. Takes a second before it starts up. Begins to go. It's very quiet. Tells me there's 17 tracks and immediately begins playing. You can probably hear it. Okay, but I really don't know why. Okay, well, not really into this music too much. Now, if I hit the mode button once, we're gonna zoom way in on this screen here. Now, I'm gonna push repeat, or I'm gonna push mode once. And you notice a little tiny 1 comes up on the screen. That means it is going to repeat this track forever. I can actually repeat any track I want. Let's say I wanted to repeat this one. I'm going to look up the back of the CD to see how long this song is. 3 minutes and 28 seconds. So now I'm going to fast forward all the way to about 3 minutes 28 seconds. And we will see what happens. Probably hear it. Now watch what happens when it gets to the end. As you'd expect with the repeat 1, it just starts the track over. If I push mode again, then it says all. Now repeat all, what that does is when I get to the very last track, which I think there are 17 tracks on this. Yeah. After the 17th track is done, hear the laser travel back to the beginning of the CD, and it starts over. If I push mode again, it goes into R and D. That's random. So every time you hit the next button, it will pick a random track on the CD. A very quiet track on the CD. And if I hit it again, well, that's not very random, just did the track before it. So hit it again, goes to number 9. Some CD players will have a little animation there as it goes between the different modes, or the different tracks.
Clap your hands, everybody!
I believe it just keeps going until it plays all the tracks on the CD. Now, the most interesting thing, let's hit stop to go back to the very beginning. You can hear the laser travel. Now if I hit mode until I go over to the intro mode, you see how it says intro? Watch what intro does. Okay, so it begins to play the CD, but watch what happens. It plays the first track, which I'm talking through, obviously, to prevent copyright. It plays the first 10 seconds of each track on the CD. So it'll play the first 10 seconds of this track. That way, let's say you got yourself a CDR, such as this one, and you didn't know what was on it. You could make a list of tracks just based on what you're hearing for the first 10 seconds of each track. So it'll keep doing that through the whole CD. And you notice the ESP light? That's the skip protection, electronic skip protection. So we're going to hit stop so that that goes off of there. Now what I'm going to show you is how to program the tracks. Let's take a look at the list of tracks on here, and I'll pick my favorites. I guess I'll pick numbers 3, 6, 3, 6, and I don't know, 12. Let's pick 3, 6, and 12. What you do is you firstly hit the program button. Come on, camcorder. My camcorder's really hating me right now. Focus on the blinking thing. Okay, when you put the program button, that's what you do. So let's say we want to put in track number 3 as our first track in the program. Push program again, and we wanted to put number 6 as the second track. Push program again, and then number 12 as our third track. Now when you're ready to play it, push program to enter the track, and then press play. It'll start with the first track, and it's playing our program now. So now it's playing this again. Okay, and I don't want to get into trouble with YouTube's copyright system, so we're not going to let you hear that too much, or I'll just talk through it. Click it again, it goes over to number 6, our second track, which you can probably just barely hear. Yeah, and then we don't want to, again, make YouTube mad, so you probably recognize that. Heck, I wasn't even alive when this I don't even think I was alive when this song was released, and I know this song. Click it again, it goes over to number 12. Which we heard a little bit earlier. That's number 12. This is our last track on the CD. If we hit it again, it just goes back to the beginning, but you can hit stop. The program light is still on there. I'm going to be fully honest with you, I don't think... yeah, see, I can set another track for my fourth one there. Oh, okay, I guess that's how you do that. So there is a way to do that. You saw how I did it to cancel the program. I usually would hit stop enough times to where it would turn off, and then I'd just power it back on again. Let's play for you some music that definitely will not hit the YouTube auto content stuff. Put this hip-hop CD back in. Quite a while ago, near Halloween time, fittingly, as this is uploaded right before Halloween, picked up this CD here called Haunted Mansion. Got a lot of tracks on it. The CD player, again, only has 30 seconds before it already shut off. So it only has 30 seconds before it auto powers off, which is not long enough in my opinion. I'm so glad it has an auto power off considering I am using the batteries. But I really wish it was more than 30 seconds, because if you're at the end of a CD, that doesn't give you much time to go get up and go grab yourself another CD. Now, I'm not going to play too much of it just because this video is probably getting pretty long now. I'll push play. We'll see how many tracks it thinks there is on the disc. I've had this forever. I've had this CD since probably about like the others, 2008 or so. And all it is, it's just sounds. There's no music on this disc. So I really don't think we're going to hit an auto content match with this. There's 10 tracks. I'll let you look at it while we listen to it. I guess, and you know what? There is music on this. Let's listen to number 5. Let's see how fast it can select a different track. Or number 6. What's number 6? Laboratory of Madness. Alright then. Well, I have this feeling that may not be fully copyright. I don't know. It's probably fine. Oh, okay, this actually has a copyright date of 2009 on it. Oh, I just totally touched the data layer of the disc. Now, what do you suppose would happen if we put a DVD in? Let me grab my copy of Cars, which I got when it was basically brand new. What do you suppose... How do you suppose we get into this? Oh, you gotta undo these. How do you suppose the... What is this? I haven't opened this DVD in quite a while. What is this thing? There's ads in my DVDs? Alright, anyways. What do you suppose would happen if we put a DVD in the player here and power it back on, because the auto power off is way too eager to actually power it off. That doesn't sound good. Well, it's really trying to read it, which is interesting. If it plays something, I'm going to be very surprised. I actually tried a different DVD in this earlier. Yeah, that's what it did. It just went error. I have a fireplace DVD that just literally is just a picture of a fireplace on like a 20 or 30 second loop. And if you pop that into your computer, I am not even kidding, it opened the file, at least when I did it about 5 years ago, it opens the file in Windows Movie Maker. It does not play it like a normal DVD. So that was strange, but it still did not behave the way it should in here. And also, while I was filming the shots for this video, notice how it says the no disc thing? Look at how quickly it shuts off. Just only 2 or 3 seconds for auto power off that time. So that's kind of interesting. So there's a CD player. Very nice little thing. As you see, it fits in my hand. Kind of looks like a UFO. A UFO with a little LCD screen on it. This is just a very classic CD player. Just a very classic style. Very similar to Sony's Discman or CD Walkman or whatever you want to call it. Just, how, CD Walkmans weren't really set up like this. But I like that it's set up like this, and I'm holding this like I'm going to eat it like a burger. It has the bass boost, which does work very well. The hold switch is absolutely useless because you can still turn it on even when it's on hold. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. But yeah, this thing is just very well built. Everything just kind of makes sense. The battery compartment being on the bottom, everything being integrated into that circular shape. And they just fit everything into the same size as a CD. I mean, you can see kind of how I'm holding this. It's basically how you'd hold a CD. Of course, there's no hole that I can hold it like a normal CD, but it's still the general surface area of a CD, just a little thicker. So it's very easy to find a place to store it. It's very easy to just keep somewhere. And you probably couldn't slip it into a pocket, but you probably could slip it into a backpack or bag. You could easily fit it into just a little shopping bag or something that you take with you. Runs on batteries. Just grab yourself some headphones and you can just listen to whatever, wherever, whenever. It pretty much doesn't matter. It's a very useful thing, and I've always wanted one of these things ever since I knew they existed. It just, to me, they make sense. Like I said, I have a CD and DVD player in the side of this TV, but you see how big this thing is and how bright the screen is on it, and yes, by the way, it works. It takes forever and a day to start up. I also have one in my laptop, but again, has a bright screen on it. Take a look at this. That is not fun. Let's say I wanted to sleep to a CD at night. Now I have to look at that. Now this is what it looks like when you're on a channel with no signal. I'm going to grab my remote here and switch it over to the DVD mode and just show you how bright this is. Now when you pop the CD into this thing, it just pretty much plays the music with a banner across the top that tells you track 1, track 2. And you get this bright screen the whole time. I think after a while it will switch to the DVD logo where it bounces all around the screen. We're actually going to see if it does that here. But I know it shows this bright screen at least at first. And imagine trying to fall asleep to a CD when it's doing that. Took 2 minutes. That took 2 minutes to do that. So after a while it does a very 90s thing, or 2000s thing, and goes into the classic DVD. Hey, it's approaching the corner. You know how people would always watch these for hours to see if it'll ever hit the corner? It pretty much just did there. But anyway, you know what, that's kind of weird. It hits the edge, but on the left and right edges, it kind of does. It goes into the edge of the TV a little bit there. Wow, it just did it again there. But anyway, yeah. So now, if you're going to be going to bed, and you're going to be listening to a CD when you go to bed, and you put one in here, after 2 minutes, it'll switch to this. Maybe. And maybe when you're playing a CD, it might not actually switch, because it will give you track information and all that. It just takes forever. I might do a video review on this TV eventually. But, now I can't get it out of this mode. But anyway, probably took too much time on that, but that's the reason I got this. There's no bright screen. It's a dedicated CD player. If I wanted to listen to music when I go to bed, now I can. There's no built-in speaker to this, but here's a speaker with an aux cable, which isn't an awkward spot, that just plugs right in. I've actually reviewed this speaker. It's my JBL speaker on episode 40-something. The link is right up there, or if I remember, which I probably won't, I'll put a link in the description too. But anyway, I've probably talked too much about this, but it's a very basic but very handy CD player to have. Not too crazy expensive. It's no Sony or anything. In fact, Rydohi sounds kind of familiar, but I don't very interesting name. But you know, it gets better reviews on Amazon than some other CD players on Amazon. And I'm not sponsored. None of these. I've never been sponsored for videos. I'm telling you my honest buyer's opinion. Although this was actually a gift, but I put this on my Amazon list for a while, and I knew I wanted it. I looked around some more, but I didn't want to spend $100, $200, or whatever on like a boombox system or anything. I just wanted a little CD player. Now, this is kind of the end of the video, and this is just kind of my idea. I looked on eBay. I don't tend to look at eBay because I'm not a huge fan of secondhand stuff. I've been to 2 thrift stores my whole life, ever. I've been to a thrift store twice, Salvation Army and Goodwill, and found old stuff, but I'm just not a huge fan of secondhand stuff, so I never looked at eBay. Well, guess what? You can find Sony Discmans that still work for like 20 bucks. And so I'm thinking of picking one up and reviewing it. If y'all would like to see an old Sony Discman from the 2000s or late 90s, then let me know if there are any good model numbers, or maybe I'll just look and see what is on there, and we'll go from there. But I have kind of been wanting to pick one up, so now I have 2 CD players. One of them that possibly won't work, because you never know with those. I mean, Sony builds products that are just built to last, but you know, the laser mechanism can get dirty over time or whatever, that I probably mentioned earlier in the review. Haven't read my script in quite a while, can you tell? But if you are having issues, if it's having issues reading discs, I probably mentioned it, but just get a Q-tip in there and clean the laser with isopropyl alcohol or contact cleaner, and that should work. Maybe not contact cleaner. Insert the correct thing to clean these with on this TV screen, because I don't actually remember what's best to clean CD lasers with. But I've heard a lot of people having issues with these, getting the CD players to work, or it'll work for a certain time and then it just stops being able to read the disc. Chances are the laser got dusty or dirty. Keep the cover closed at all times. Don't touch the laser ever, and keep it clean. You shouldn't have to maintain them too much. But if you're gonna maintain them, and if you're noticing issues, it's probably the laser. If it's not, and the laser's just not moving, or if it's just making strange clicking noises or something, might be broken. And then I'm not a CD repair expert, so I don't know what to do beyond that point, other than maybe it would be a good idea to turn to eBay and get yourself a second-hand CD Walkman for cheap. Well, this video's probably gone on for like 3 hours, but I'll see you on the next one.